Time to start the most boring video in the whole world. I'm going to fix the bug that is plaguing my Minecraft bot, for better or for worse, tonight. And maybe we'll get it done. And because I know everyone loves it, we're going to do it entirely in Vim. If I can remember what directory it is in. Okay, cool. Part of the reason I'm recording this is because I need to talk it through to myself. And, oh, I should change that. Okay, so I have an idea of what's wrong. And the only person here to help me work it through is my friend Herbert, who is featured on the front page of, not the front page, but on the innovation page of Parsons.com. Because he's more photogenic than me. So, how does this even work? Scripter works by opening up a subprocess, two subprocesses, and then acting as sort of the broker between them. It was inspired by the notion of using pipes. So, for example, piping, the output from one file to another, using like make pipe, or oh god, what's the command? Is that not it? Oh no, it's make FIFO, first in, first out. Yeah, so, uh, because that's how pipes work, you drop it in one end and then it comes out the other. So the original idea is you would use a named pipe. So I'd create like a main named pipe, so like make FIFO pipe, and there it is. And then you could here, it's actually easier as a demonstration. If I do if I cat the pipe, so I can do cat and then pipe, and then that lets me type into the pipe, and then I can do cat pipe, and whatever I type on the right terminal should appear in the left terminal. Now the idea is I would start a process, this being the Minecraft server right here, and I'd send the output to a pipe, and then the handling process would open that pipe and receive all of the server output. Unfortunately, when you close one end of a pipe, it closes the other end, and that's kind of a problem for inter-process communication. Additionally, if I made this like a Python program, in fact, I think one of my demo ones works. Uh, it doesn't flush the buffer right away, so the pipe would essentially accumulate all these lines, and that's a problem. So if I did like I think this will work. Gosh, I can't even remember how my own things work. So no, this won't work, I don't think. Yeah, so the handler. Okay, yeah, I'd have to switch it up. But there was a problem with using that with processes. So two main issues. When you close an end of a pipe, it closes the stream on the other end. So you can't do two pipes easily. But I mean, otherwise, that's pretty much the basic idea of how this works. So instead, it occurred to me, and this is kind of something I used to do, is I'd write a program that would wrap the Minecraft server and get the standard output that way instead of piping it to somewhere else. So let's see how that works here. So this is the program I wrote in C. I used to. I don't really know why I chose. I think it was like kind of a self-flagellatory reason why I chose C. I hadn't had a lot of really experience with it. I wanted to practice some more syscalls. I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb. Also, this is a typo. Uh, yeah. So basically, you start the program scripter with the process, in this case, a Minecraft server, and then a handler. And the process and handler communicate with each other, and then the process and scripter communicate with each other. So everything that process prints gets mirrored and echoed out from scripter. So, and everything you type into scripter, all the standard in, is redirected to process's standard in. So really, so it's basically you can treat it as if you were running um, process just straight up. That was part of the idea, and that's actually the cause of my issue now is because if you try to run this in the background, uh, scripter will just shut off its input streams, or it'll direct them from dev null or something like that, which it just causes them to close and ends um, the process. So I can't leave it running in the background unless I change how it works. And what I'm planning to do tonight is to surgically extract that piece of code that hooks scripter or hooks the process into handler, um, or hooks scripter into the process, and then uh, when process starts, it just is like a daemon, and it closes the input streams already. So like when you start it, it doesn't read any input or anything. It will close its own streams and then um, just sit there and in the background for process and handler. It's possible that when a program closes its input and output streams, the operating system will try to reclaim it. I haven't really experimented with this a lot, but yeah. So looking at this, I think I already tried making headway on this. Um, so if I uncomment this real quick, uh, we can see that I had already tried doing some. This is the main loop that Scripter was meant to incorporate um, the user interaction stuff, but it didn't quite work out. So yeah, I could also kind of do a quick overview of what's going on here. Essentially, I have 6 file descriptors um, to make all this communication happen. Each process has 2, and there's a system called dupe or duplicate that allows one file descriptor to um, be used by multiple processes. Uh, so for example, I basically have convert file descriptor in this case here to treat this to have all the same effects. So it duplicates standard in into file descriptor in. So like if so essentially so if a so when you start a process you get its file descriptors, right? It's in and out, and what I do is I cause those file descriptors to become the same as uh, one I already had. That was kind of a weird explanation. Um, yeah. Also, now that I'm looking at this, oh, okay. So these are some pragma statements I have. Interesting. That might actually be cause of the problem. Okay, so some of this is a little strange. I tried to abstract out the details of starting a process because it is a little confusing trying to recall what each of these does. Excuse me. So like here I try to have like um, comments explaining everything, and then I tried to give them names that refer to what they do. Um, So I have like, this is a little, it's kind of low level. It sort of mimics what you do in the command line. So uh, there are three integer arrays statically allocated, and um, you can, when you call pipe on an integer array, it will put the, uh, it'll essentially set the first and second entries of that array as file descriptors for communication. 0 is standard out, and 1 is the in of is the inside of the pipe. So it does both ends of them at once. And just like my example of using this, so yeah, I don't have to go through it to explain, but like this is the one that puts types into the pipe. This would be the second entry, and this over here would be the first one. Anyway, so I do that for the process and the handler and what I call the parent. Yeah, okay, so yeah, so I use these as aliases for these pipes, so I don't have to remember uh, what they are about. Okay, so it does get kind of confusing, and I think what I want to do is actually turn this into a struct. So every process that I use is a struct that has its like input and its output, and then you can construct like a stream around that, so it just makes more sense. And I can use some of the other um, C functions and do this nastiness in like one single place instead of having a initializer method or function. This is not a method. Set them all up. Okay. So what was the problem with this before? I do remember I was trying to, by taking out this while loop, well, for one thing, it causes this process, the scripter process, to just terminate, which is great and not helpful at all. So my thinking was, okay, maybe once it sets the pipes up, they will just stay up in the system memory. That's not the case. Let's see, I also had this stop method. I'm losing my train of thought. This is not scripted at all. I'm sort of trying to walk myself through how everything works. Okay, I have a couple helper functions here. So um, read line. So this fork child is used to set the file descriptors to start a process, and then also set the alias file descriptors to point to its input and outputs. And then you also give it the arguments. So this got a little messy. What I ended up doing was, if anyone, if you saw in the demo folder, I have shell scripts that don't take any arguments, and the scripts do all the process launching. So that way, instead of passing Python process pi as an argument, I just pass 1.sh, and it will do the work for me. So you would start the program like demo 1 and then demo 2 instead of having to specify the commands, because I found that even if you specify arguments with a string, bash will interpret that as a single argument as opposed to two arguments, the one and then ASDH argument. I was having troubles with that, so I just said I'm not going to worry about it. Probably something I could address in a different time, but yeah. Okay. Some other things I tried, stuff using NoHub. So NoHap is an alternate was a method of running processes in the background. Um, it is not identical to doing this, but it is similar in that um, doing this is a problem because uh, if you send a process to the background, essentially, it still lives with the shell that you started it in. And when you exit the shell, that job ends. So it had the same problem of running in the background um, because even though it's not necessarily a quote unquote foreground job, it's still like a background job and was still attached to the session. And this is also an issue where, like, for example, Bash doesn't signal by using the signal system call any of the processes that it started because it can just directly get to the process, and that's not fun for anybody. Okay, what am I doing? So if I just run this, I don't know if I've compiled it recently. Oh, well, also another thing, this doesn't clean up after itself very well. Um, okay, so I'm actually going to run it this way. I'm going to make this my working directory. There we go. Okay, so what is this doing? Without that loop running, we should see that these don't exist. And after a quick scan here, I don't see them. Oh, wait, I do. Okay. And then these are yeah, so these represent what's going on. And wow, this GNOME is a massive process, like hog. Okay. So, and OBS is probably not doing many favors for me either right now. Okay, so if I cat handler out, nothing. So, and that's also empty. So what these do is essentially they just pass output back and forth, or yeah. So processed up high is supposed to read input and then send output. And the reason it's not working for doing that right now is because I don't have any input going to it. So I'm going to go ahead and demo this the way Scripter was originally working. First by killing the ones I started. And okay, then I'm going to rewrite the code real quick. So, wait, oh my gosh. So the problem with like using one name for everything is that like I have three things that start with script, and so my auto completion doesn't work. And Bash doesn't use you can't scroll, you can't tab through your options, unlike ZSH for example, which is just real sad boy hours. Also, my uncomment macro is keyed for Python right now, so I have to do this with the other way. Oh, jeez. Do multi-line editing in Vim, we love it. And okay, so that should. I don't think I need stop because this doesn't really. Yeah. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't even stop the processes, so I'm just gonna not. And then we will not forget to use the pthread flag, because I've done that a lot. And compile it. Okay, so, more exciting. Let me grab another terminal here. Not really, okay. yeah, I guess I'll just, so if I type something, I should see it come in the output files or something like that. I forget what these are set up to do. They may not even be working right now. They are not working. Okay, what's going on? So here's the first bug, just to say bug that I wasn't expecting. The processes are running. What are they doing? Let's do that. Some advanced. Normally I would use tmux. Okay, so I'm going to. Okay, so this actually does. If you clean it with a signal, it will do some cleanup for you, but I'm just gonna double check that it got rid of everything. Yeah, okay, so I don't see that. Alright, cool. Let's try that again. Nope, okay. So, what's going on? Is that thread not started? I do create it. So this is reading from standard in, and it should be printing into standard, or into the process. I don't see that it's doing that though. And I know those processes are running because if I remove output and handler out, they will get created because those Python is opening them for editing. Yeah. Okay, actually, you know what? I think I do remember one of the bugs. So, oh shoot, I commented too many times. If the handler doesn't ever send anything to the process, I believe it won't. Okay, yeah. If it doesn't open the stream for reading, maybe is the problem. I can't remember, but I think this will bite my words here in a second. But I'll just try it. Nope. Okay, I don't think it worked. Ah, shoot. So gosh, I should just have this open all the time. You could always roll back, I guess. This does start, right? Reminder to add semicolons after your statements, kids. Hell yeah, okay. Could also do that with, there we go. I got lucky, okay, so it is, now, the worst part is I know I've run into this bug before. I was pretty confident it had to do with that whole flushing output thing. Shouldn't need to flush input if it has a new line, but for safety we're gonna okay. Nope. It's bothering me that I'm mixing my use of quotes, so there we go. Much better. For more Vim tips, see a Confluence page I'm going to be putting up at some point. So input to process comes from process and scripter, or and handler, or it should. Oh wait. So one of the things I did is I redirected the stream so that it never interacted with yeah, okay, look at this. I commented out the line that actually reads to and from the parent because, you know, I'm just the smartest cookie on the block. Anyway, um, I think, um, you know, these are also really confusing because I can't remember what these parameters are supposed to mean. I think handler right is like where you want this process's output stream to go, and read is where you want its input stream to go. Like the first argument is where you want the out to go, and the second is where you want the in. So this is the kind of thing that I think would get fixed by using a struct instead. Is so once you have the struct set up, well the complicated bits come when you start the struct, and then the struct would have like this function embedded within it, or you could pass the struct as a uh, argument instead, and just make life easier so you don't have to remember where things go. Um, Also, I'm starting to read some of my comments again, and okay, so what else? What else? What else? Oh, that theory totally wrong. Uh, like I said, terminating the scripter by just canceling that loop did not work. I think this we just fork again is the way to go. You just completely disown the process at all, like all the time. But which is not what I'm doing right now, but I think I'm gonna do that in a little bit. I do. Anyway, let's see if we can. What did I just type? You? Ah, my finger's in the wrong position. You know what? Another fun tip. You can actually look at the history of commands you've entered. So, yeah. Fun fact. Okay. You can do that by doing q colon, by the way, in Vim. Alright, let's see. What else? What else? Oh, I'm taking a brain dump right now. Don't mind me. Compile. And run. Let's get over here. Oh my god. Should just do like. I had to. Nope. No, yeah, that'll work, right? Okay. Gotta be careful I'm not deleting my scripts accidentally, but Shoot, why did I do that? I think I can do that. There we go. Yep, okay, so starting, no, that's from the scripter, not from the process. Um, yeah, okay, here we go. So now I have output. So this output is what the person typed in scripter, and then handler and script now, and then, so, okay, to explain what just happened, I entered S into the input stream for scripter. Then scripter basically sent that to the input stream of process. Then process echoed it back as line written S. And whenever process echoes something, handler is written to copy its output to this file. So everything that gets outputted from process is just copied by handler. So you could think of it as like a logging program. So that's another actually use case I could think of is if you have a program that you can't modify but you want to log its output, you could probably do something a lot simpler than this. I'm not gonna lie, like honestly, just a standard. This is duplicating. Like the same thing would happen if I did. Let me shut this down. If I did, if I just ran, well, I can do it like this actually. One, um, like blah, d blah. Like it's the same thing. It's practically the same, but this it's just like the most. This is like the. I was just about to use an example from functional programming. This is but this is like the identity function of use cases. It's like probably the most basic operation you could think for it. But it gets more interesting when handler takes the input from process, does something with it, and then writes back, because handler can also write back. I do not believe this one does that because it would be stuck in an infinite loop if it did that. Um, or maybe it wouldn't, I don't know. But yeah, anyway. So that is the use case when we have user input from here. So to recap, I run this program. The input and output streams mimic um, what would happen if you were just running uh, the process on its own. So blah, blah. So essentially, whoever runs scripter, it's as if they are interacting with whatever the first program they ran. And then on top of that, you know what the best part is? I'm pretty sure yeah, okay, I built in a graceful stop to that. Um, then handler can take all, handler interacts with the process in the same way that the user can. The idea being that um, handler reads whatever it has and then responds to it in the same way that I might respond to Minecraft server output, and that is what lets me do cool things with my bot. So uh, that is what I'm going to try to fix now. So what I want to do is disable um, the input loop from scripter so that I, as a user, cannot interact with it. And then um, have it just run as a daemon process with it, and it'll all it will do is just pass messages back and forth between process and handler. And those are terms that I've been using to describe just the first and second argument because that's how this program would be used in my mind. Um, I included one too many spaces in this command. Interesting. Okay, so um, just clean up after ourselves a little bit. So one of the other things I wanted to do is add a nice cleanup, but we're not going to do that. So yeah, so I'm gonna commit this as it's better if we do this. You know, you can tell I'm lazy because I haven't touched this since August 9th last year. Yeah. Fun, fun, fun. Okay. Merge? Question mark, question mark. Okay. So, how are you going to fix this? First of all, whoa, I hate doing that. So we're going to, I'll push that actually. Oh. Oh, come on. I have to add my GitHub. I'm not going to do that right now though. I think I programmed this on my laptop, I want to say, so I think the remote is set up there, but we'll just not worry about it. Alright, so one question I want to ask is if you clone a process and does the process live separately to the terminal? So I'm going to do a quick test script here. I'm like, how do I write a C program? And then there's one open right next to me. Oh geez, what are the header files I need for this? I think standard lib. I'll do standard IO as well. And yeah, so that should give me access to fork and printf. Right, so if we look at fork child here, so if you have a process and you fork it, it produces two outputs, one in the original process and one in the baby process. So if you have a PID, it means you're in the parent and if you have a PID that's not 0, which is to say greater than 0, then you are in the parent. And if you don't, then you're in the child. And yeah, so the parent knows who its children are, presumably so it can kill them. And then the child has its PID, the PID is 0. Because no process can have PID 0. And except, I don't think the kernel can. No. So the lowest process I have is 1. I should have, you know what I can do. Here we go. Yeah, and that is system D, I guess. I thought actually init was the lowest, but it could be that I am mistaken. Anyway, doesn't matter. You can't get PIDs that low anyway. It's just not how Unix systems work, or Unix-like systems, I should say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to infinitely wait. Actually, I think you can do this. So if I compile that, my goodness, am I stupid? I am stupid, aren't I? Yeah, okay, cool. Ah, come on. Is it not standard lib? Oh, Unis did. God. Expecting me to know things. What is this? Okay. Alright. And that is 5929. So it's still running. Okay, good to know. And it's still running there. Alright, great. So that's what I wanted to know. So that means I think I can do this, essentially. Great. Alright, cool. So, uh, this is so bad. This is not a user-friendly program at all. Um, yeah. I'm going to, first of all, revert my changes here. I'm going to kind of mimic the stuff I want to do by by taking this out, the read loop again, and what I will do is put a standard infinite loop, like so, and I will just not, instead of trying to fork and then, no, why rather? Why not just, okay, so before I get ahead of myself again, let me quickly, um, so, okay, I want to, okay, I'm going to revert this change. So this is what lets the processes talk to each other without intervention from the scripter. Scripter is the name, if you hadn't figured out, of my program. I think I was going to call it switchboard, kind of like those old phone switchboards where you could like connect phones to each other, like you know how an operator would sit and manage which phones talk to who. And that's actually not even a bad metaphor for what's going on, where a scripter is like the operator and the switchboard. And the idea is I would expand it to any number of processes, so you could have a kind of like pub subsystem where um, a process could publish something through its via just a standard out, and subscribers could just hook up to it, and switchboard would let you control it dynamically. Um, yeah, this is before I even learned about like anything useful. But it's like this form of interprocess communication by using like pipes and uh, like well, whatever I'm doing, it's not common as far as I'm aware. And the only use case I really found for it is like this weird Minecraft thing. And when I was a teen, it was like one of the first programs that I wrote robustly, which is except it was in Java. It would open a Minecraft server and let me respond to it. Except in that case, the handler, quote unquote, wasn't a separate process. It was the Java program that wrapped the server itself, because the only language I knew at the time was Java. And if you had told me to combine two processes together at that point in my life, I would have looked at you weirdly, because that was way beyond me at that point. Okay, I'm getting off track, so what am I doing? Forking. I was going to demo it. Okay, so the alternate version for the demo I had here is 12 minus 5 plus 1 is going to be 8, so 8 at C, and then we'll just 10 at U. Okay, so what the idea is, this program would run on its own. So previously it would only do things when it got input, but since we are cutting that out of the picture, we're going to not. But I still need to accept input because it has to respond to script or the handler. So just yeah, okay, that's great. Oh no, no, no. Oh my god. Okay, so does Flush just put a new line? I bet it does. Okay, great. I learned something new. So, you know, I could actually probably just simplify that if I got rid of the call to Flush, but I'm going to leave it. Alright, so it's going to write something out. Then we're going to change this actually. We're going to do classic loop. And okay. So it's writing to a file and printing out, which is bold. I'm going to now just accept input on a loop. So did not increment the counter. And that doesn't respond to input either. So it's like that meme of like math if 77 plus 33 equal to 100, where it's like a picture of some really awesome futuristic looking city. I'm thinking of that right now, like, or no, it's the world if 77 plus equals, but I'm thinking the world if Python had the increment operator. Like, that's what I'm imagining in my head right now, because I hate doing plus equals for one. I guess because you're supposed to use iterators, but whatever. Okay, it's 9:36 and I have a job to do. I need to look at the handler. What are you doing? This can actually probably stay the same. It's gonna read from the... Okay, but importantly, it needs to print out as well. I'm gonna take out this, and then... So it's not even gonna... There's no delay here because it's just going to instantly respond to whatever it gets from process. Response. This input might get completely ignored. So what I will do is I'll print it to the file, and I'll just take this and okay, so it will print. This will get picked up by the handler. I will receive input from the handler. I will write that to the file, and then yeah, we'll just do that forever. Okay. Great. Except what we should do is have new lines. So when you flush to standard out, I guess it adds a new line. But if you flush to any other stream it will not, so that's nice. Cool. Okay, let's give this a shot. I have no idea if this is gonna work. I think it will. Should probably compile though, huh? That would probably help. No. Here's another bash tip. 2025. Heh. We're learning new things all the time, aren't we? Okay. Scriptor is recompiled. That's doing its thing. Oh, it's working. Okay, that side's not working. Henry, okay, come on, come on. But they are communicating, because otherwise this wouldn't have anything. Oh my god, it's 20 seconds since I started. Okay, why aren't you... Okay. Okay, so... I don't know why it's not... That's a little disconcerting. Why is that process? So this... Okay. Oh. Is the handler even receiving... Do you... Okay, it's writing the standard output. Oh, you know why? I bet it's because the handler just echoes it back, right? But okay, F is not the jeez. I need to clarify some things. Okay, so it's printing this out to a file. Oh, you know what? Is it because I'm shadowing F as the format string? That can't be it, right? No. I bet it's... I bet this is the... but that's so dumb. Alright, um... Oh, don't want to do that. No, ugh. Prime? Nope, there's no primes, because this isn't Haskell. By the way, Haskell. Do I not have it installed? Oh my god, Christ. Whatever. Alright, I was gonna make a fun Haskell comment. I need to stop the program, because, yeah. Alright, so I bet that I'm shadowing the name. So why don't I... Oh man, this is so dumb. Okay. Actually, no, I can do... there's probably a lot of, like, Vim tips that even I don't know. Alright, so let's cross our fingers if that's correct. Shoot. Oh! I'm not... Oh. I'm using a... a lower version of Python. So it's not going to work. Shoot. Okay, I'll leave the name as G, but I'm going to replace... Dang, I thought... This is what I get for trying to use nice things. Alright, so... I could leave it as a keyword argument, I think, but then I would have to specify from age equals from age, or counter equals counter, and I don't want to do that. I'll just stick with this. And I was like so happy to use this one. Doesn't use any. Okay. Excellent. By the way, if you open two program, there are two files in Vim. You can switch between them with BN or capital or B capital N. Of course, it doesn't really. Yeah. If you have there's like a way to look at them too, which files you have opens. Is it not working? Oh jeez. Alright, anyway, files, and then it shows you which buffers you have open. And then if you have more than that, lowercase n goes forward and capital N goes back, just like most things in Vim, where the capital is like the opposite action. Alright, let's try this again. Oh! You know what? I'm just so tired. Let's do... Boom. Okay, still wrong. I did not fix it at all. There's a completely different issue going on here. Nope. I keep opening the wrong... I really should have called these something else. Like, come on. Alright. So, I do not know where this is going to... This has got to be going to... I can't think of any other... well, it's got to be going somewhere. Could cat, like... proc... 7301... Oh man, what is it? Is it gonna be like FD IO? I don't know what L goes in the proc file system actually. I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, so why is this printing? So this is what I expect to be printed out to standard out. Instead, it is writing it into the buffer that I opened as a part of this program. So actually, beyond that, everything I print should be going to the handler because it's getting grabbed by scripter. So what the up? What the heck? You know? Do I have to grab input from the handler first? I don't see how that would help because, well, one of them has to go first because otherwise they're both waiting for input. That's never happening. So g.write, it's writing... No, you know what? Okay, no. I think this may still make weird sense. So if I print out, then it's possible the handler is echoing it back to me, and then I write it to the file because I'm so smart and I just write whatever H comes back. So I'm gonna, just so I know I'm not crazy and it's not like the output stream became the file stream, I really just need to confirm this for my own sanity. Okay, yeah. So I suspect it could also be that I have messed up my file anything here because look, um, for example, if I had the process writing back to itself without the script, without the handler, then that is some real dumb crap on my end. Um, that's very possible. It's very possible that I used the wrong names here, and handler write and handler read are actually being immediately bounced back to me. So like I have basically plugged the standard out of a program into its own standard in, which would make me, I'd be eating crow right now, which is probably what I did. Um, yeah, that's got to be it. I can double check too if I quickly, if I modify this to not run the handler. Oh my god, I should just not launch the handler. So if I do not fork this, if I do, I'm gonna, I bet, oh my god. Well, first of all, compile, um, demo, run the program. I'm getting the same, okay, yeah, yeah. So I feel so dumb right now because I just piped it back to me, which is, just great. Okay. That begs the question of how do I fix it? So I think another Vim trick, if you get this error open already, you can open it in read-only mode with a capital R option. So I confused myself with these file descriptor names is what happened. I need to basically I need to change the arguments I'm passing to fork child. These ones are correct. The ones that handler is using is correct because it has historically like okay this might be wrong. So it will write to the process and it will. So this is saying my standard out is going to go to process write and my standard in is going to come from process read or whatever these are. So I think pipe setup messed up somehow. So let's see if we can get it to the handler first. So file descriptor for writing to handler. Uh-huh. Hmm. Hmm. Yep, I'm not so sure. So when I was really doing this, so okay, so previously I would have process communicate with me. So I would read a line from standard in, or no, I'd read from. I would do reading from standard in here, and then I would read from process in here, and I would then take everything from process in and write it to handler write. And then handler would skip that and just go straight to process because I never needed to intercept the handler in standard in the scripter that is. So it would bypass that. And handler read would just be that. Now, I have managed to confuse myself because I have made it so that fork child echoes back to itself. And I think it's because I think what has ended up happening is handler write is what handler was going to write to, or something like that. And handler read would be, why didn't I just use a struct and have these in standard in and standard out? Also, I'm realizing I could have declared these ints without initializing them. So much. I have changed so much in 1 year. This is 1 year old, and I'm like already like, oh god, who wrote this? Me. It was me. I went, read only mode. Yeah, I gotta change it over here. So I am referencing this because I need to figure out what I am doing. Oh, and using file descriptors, super jank if you want to actually write stuff. Hence having a file pointer. There's like a way to convert between them. Okay, I promised I would fix this, and I think I'm on the verge of it. I just need to figure out how to not echo back to yourself. So, I just need to figure out which one of these is correct. Okay, let me look at fork child. Great, okay, cool. So, I commented a lot. That's one thing I don't do anymore. Should accept actual runtime arguments, fork a child process, and turn execute. Yeah. Okay, so file descriptor out is where the output of the process you fork gets redirected. And fork child says we redirect that to standard in. No. Yeah, this is where standard out. So I'm saying I'm going to copy. Okay, so this is in the fork method. Okay. So this is the child executing this code. That's important. This standard in refers to the child standard in, and I'm saying this file descriptor is going to become the standard, essentially the standard in. And what's really important about this is this memory is accessed by when you change a file descriptor in another process, it'll actually so it'll take whatever. Oh god, I'm confusing myself now. Yeah, I remember doing this. So I'm set up the pipe, and these are just system level variables. So these now are just integer constants that both have access to. So they do not change after pipe setup. Both the parent, in this case scriptor, and the child have access to the same file descriptor integers, which are unique across the entire system because they refer to pipes. What this does is it duplicates the file descriptor so that, oh my god, stop. Okay, so undo that. It the dup2 man page is not too helpful, I found, but yeah. So essentially, old FD and new FD now refer to the same file. That is what is important about dup2. When you call it, old FD refers to the same file as new FD. Yes, they refer to the same file. So that way, the global variable that is now is accessible by both the scriptor and the child have the same file, and they write to it the same way, and they can access it the same way. Okay, now, I had to talk myself through that one, but maybe you learned something too. if anybody's even watching this. Okay, so file descriptor. So in is how you write to the child, and that is handler read. So I'm confused myself again because I made this out of order. Okay, so oh my god. Excuse me. Okay. So if I yep, okay, great. So oh boy. Yeah, that's part of why this is so confusing is because like this code is executed by the child and it affects the parent, but they don't even communicate over it. It's like a system level thing because dup2 is a system call, and then it starts, and then this happens. This is why I know so much about system calls, by the way, because I just spent like hours on this. All right, now that doesn't help me because now I'm finding that when I called forkchild here originally, what I was saying is that process, aka the Minecraft server, whatever is the main thing going on, is gonna write to. So I'm saying the output of process is. Oh. Okay. No, I am. Note how in the pipe setup, the first element, aka 0, is the one you would write. You would write to it. No, the I would. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so confusing because I can't keep track of, like, I know 0 and 1 are like standard out and standard in, right? And when you set up a pipe, it has an out end and an in end, and I can't remember now. Okay, so that's why we have man pages. Yep, so pass in that, and then pipe 0 refers to the read end of the pipe. Okay, yeah, okay, and then 1 refers to the write end. Yeah, this buffering stuff is so... Okay. So 0 is the read end, and that was confusing to me because I always thought of 0 as like the thing that you write to. Well, I guess in a sense it is. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, 0 is what you read. Is the read end, and I pass handler write, which is for writing to the handler, into fork child as the first argument, and that now refers to the standard out of the child, and that is a reading. This is, I think, where I went wrong because yeah. So basically, I see it now. So handler write and handler read refer to the ends of a pipe, and I forked. So output from process gets written into handler write, then the standard in reads it, and that is passed to handler read. So it gets looped right back to itself. So the fix for this is I will the I just move the pipes around. So the same thing would have happened with the handler process is it this is the same pipe. Okay, yeah, yeah. So, oh my goodness. I'm so tired. All right, this should fix it. So I say things that are written to the handler are going to be read here and sent to the handler process. I shouldn't have named the pipes this. That's so confusing. And then when the handler writes something, it's going to write it to the process pipe, which will get read by the process. Holy cow. Okay. That's not bad. Well, it's kind of bad. They're still running. So now, okay, so huh? Okay, so it printed the response. Uh-huh. Um, yeah, I wrote that out and then it prints response. But that doesn't get read. Okay. Well, this is still pretty good. This is pretty good. Um, it just stopped, although these are still running. So I think they're both blocked on input right now. I wish there was a way to check if a process had. Oh, you know what? I bet I could write to the file descriptors from an OS level if I just knew what numbers were used when it set up the pipe. Okay, so I'm not sure this ever got input. Um, so, uh, she writes the file and then it prints again. So it's stuck here, and handler is stuck. But then it would get stuck again. But it would print. They should not be stuck like this. Ah, shoot. Okay. Well, I know this is also definitely working because this is print start. Oh, wait, I know. It's because I printed start, and then I didn't wait for input, and then handler got the start, and then it printed response, but I wasn't accepting input at that time. Although, it should buffer. I bet if I take out this start, it will work. Another way to handle this is I could make this mimic the Minecraft server where instead of printing something every time I get something back from the handler, which is probably causing this sort of mutual dependency, if it just prints periodically, which is what I was originally trying to test, because the Minecraft server generally doesn't put things to standard out that it receives from a handler. Or it does, but it's like the handler tends to ignore most of it because anything that gets written as yeah. Anyway, that's a different conversation. So I'm gonna test this out first. Oh my goodness. Okay. well, one thing solved. Anyway, I'm gonna, okay, so what we're gonna do is we're not gonna print, we're going to, I'm so bothered by that though. I should be getting input from the handler. So it could be that I did not get the correct, not the right read end, the correct read end. So this is actually just waiting on a pipe that does just straight up not exist. Or handler's writing to the wrong pipe. That could be well the case. Oh, why would you? Oh, you know what's great? I can tab cycle in Vim, but I can't tab cycle in Bash. We love to see it. We do not love to see it. We actually hate to see it. So I should get. Yeah. Oh! Why did I do that? The problem, okay, it is a pipe issue. So I, in my infinite wisdom, decided to give the different ends of the pipe different prefixes because I'm just so smart and I never thought that I would ever change this. So, um, the solution is I remove one of these entirely. I'm not even gonna, I'm gonna just take out, um, oh god, I will go through and rename these one day. So we're gonna say PN and HN, because this is not just in, it's in and out. It's a pipe. So it should be process pipe and handler pipe. And I should use, I'll copy this. I need this as a reference later, and I do not care to, I know version control is supposed to like solve this for me, but whatever. I'm just going to comment the code for now. I will remove the extraneous comments later. Okay. Now, if I stop, restart. I did not recompile. Because, why would you do that? Look at that. Oh, it worked. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Alright, cool. Now, awesome. Actually, that's great. I'm gonna, so the last thing to do is, first of all, oh god, scripter. We're just gonna fix it. Pipe strangeness. Henry can occasionally be silly. Flush that. Oh. I need to update this to my GitHub. By the way, it is July right now, and I didn't really go through it. It's just so everyone knows that I am actually doing this. I didn't like do it ahead of time, because that could have changed the date on my computer, but whatever. The last step is I fork it. So, essentially, well, no, that'll actually stay. I'm going to int. Oh my god. Look at this Pythonic style of naming. that should do that. Boom! Oh. Haha! It's running in the background! Ooh! And then if I close the windows and just exit completely. Yes, that is a trash can. I know that icon's very big. Oh my god. This is amazing. Okay. Whew. I can't believe it. Well, okay, I can believe it worked. Because it's working right now. So... yeah, not too bad, huh? Demonizing. And then if you want to stop it, you have to kill it with prejudice. So, I did not take a note of that ID, so I have to do this the other way. Do not know. This. 9658. Now, that may or may not kill the other ones. They do not, okay. So, not user-friendly because I just have to do this manual bullcrap of cleaning it up. But, yeah. Not too bad, actually. Alright, so we're going to now message the Discord channel, I think, as proof. Let's see. Alright. Let's just do that in the correct channel. Okay. I've been recording how long now? Almost an hour and a half. That wasn't too bad. I didn't think I'd finish tonight. Alright, so here's how we're going to agree to those terms. We're going to actually do this in a different window. So, yeah, so we're going to upload scripter. Okay, and then, oh man, how does this? Does that look right? Okay. Then, yeah, GCC. Then take the binary, hit an empty server. Just double check that no one's online right now. Oh yeah. So actually, it does. The bot still works for going from Discord to Minecraft for some reason. I don't actually know why. So that's kind of interesting, but that's, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, actually, okay, going to kill. Yeah. Oh man. Okay, what is this? This is 2035. Yeah, I'm not gonna accidentally kill my shell session here. Also, so many processes. Alright, whatever. So Minecraft server's down. Run. Six 4970. Yeah, okay. Looks good to me. This is my script for handling. My stuff is a mess, guys. It is. I have like multiple versions of a script that's meant to handle. This is the one that's used, but there's like this one, and then there's this one. I have demo stuff. It's a mess. It's a mess. And then we're going to try now. I'm at a risk of destroying my recording, so I will be very careful to. I'm gonna close Firefox, I think, because I want to save on RAM. Okay. Let's see. See here. Okay. Let's see if this works. Discord again. Oh. Alright. I'm so excited. I'm so nervous. If this didn't work, I'm gonna like cry. I'm like holding my breath. Ugh. Also, is this on... Oh, you know what? I might have to update the version of my server. Crap. I have no idea what version it's running. I think it's 1.15 still. Which is unfortunate. Oh god, I don't care about any of this. Come on. I don't know why I have it set to keep the output window on. I think... I don't know. There's reasons, probably. What? Did it not open? Hello? Maybe I had the logs open. Oh, no. Okay, it just... Oh, that's a new logo. Wow. Ah, jeez. I haven't played in how long? Whoa! This is different. Okay, yeah, shoot. Shoot. Can I set a new profile? Is that allowed? I don't care about your launcher. Oh, okay, so let's just change the version to... I'm so lazy that I'm not even updating the server. I really just want to see this working. Oh, it opened another... What the... Alright, whatever. Again, don't care about your log. I do kind of care about the logs, actually. There's a lot of debug statements, or unless those are leftovers. Alright. Yes! Oh my god, it worked! Ah! Ha! And look, it even renders Omega in game. Oh, I'm so happy. And now I can finally finish this dome. Oh my god. And it only took me an hour and a half. That's not too bad. That's like, I don't know. Guess that's like a 3-pointer. I'm not sure. I don't really have a Slack board for any of this. Yeah, so what I should be able to do is disconnect from Darwin's thingy and then, oh, I can't believe it. Yeah, it doesn't render Unicode at all. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, whew, well, thank you for joining me on this journey. It's been kind of a wild ride. Wow. Alright, guess that's it.